guys, it's Bree Simulated here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we are going ahead and doing a quick little speed build, only about 12 minutes or so, so it's not really that long compared to most of my other builds. But today what we're doing is we're going ahead and building a build for our Get Famous sim. So if you haven't watched the latest part of Get Famous, I definitely recommend you go ahead and watch that right now. Part 15 you definitely need to watch in order to know why this is happening. But basically I'll break it down. Spoiler alert if you're not up to date, but basically Lakiesha is pregnant, and I've got a good feeling she could very well be pregnant with twins. She is looking pretty big, like stomach wise, and it does sort of look like the twin belly, like when your sims are pregnant with twins. It looks somewhat like a twin belly, so I'm thinking she might be pregnant with twins, which I'm kind of scared about. But, you know, it could still just be one baby. You never know. Like, you know, sometimes their bellies are huge and then they only have one. Sometimes they look tiny and they have three. So it's not always an indicator. But I decided that our house was getting a little bit too small, definitely to have a baby in. So we needed to move into a new one. And then we had some dramas go on with some of our friends. Basically what happened was Vanessa went ahead. Vanessa's her name, right? Vanessa, the girl from the front cover of Get Famous? I think her name's Vanessa. I'm having a mental blank. But anyway, she went viral. She was in a TV show and whatnot, and she just like blew up. She went crazy. Mikayla gave her some awesome advice and it really worked, and she went ahead and got really famous. She blew up to a 5-star celebrity overnight from like a 1-star. So she blew up. She didn't know how to handle it. Mikayla was like, hey, you're gonna give me some credit for that, like I really helped you out with that. And Vanessa was just like, what are you talking about? No, you didn't. And didn't give Mikayla any of the credit. So they got in a big fight, which was very bad. And basically we went over to visit, and Mikayla was just like kicking the bins over and stuff. She was really mad. And then Mikayla found out that Judd and Dakota are beginning to get together, which is kind of awkward for her, because now that Vanessa has moved out and she went and moved to the Pinnacles and she's living with Judith Ward, who is going to be like mentoring her sort of and taking her under her wing, since she's like blown up so quickly she doesn't know how to handle the fame. So she's gone ahead and moved in with Judith Ward, who was a co-star on this TV show that blew up, and we're pretending, yeah, that's why she's taking her in. But anyway, basically when she moved out, Mikayla's there alone with her 2 other friends, which she thought was great because now Dakota was sharing a room with Vanessa, and now they don't have to share anymore, so now they can all have their own rooms. And these 3 guys, like Judd, Dakota, and Mikayla, were all good friends before they moved in with Vanessa. When they all these friends decided to move into Desol Valley, there was only like 2 houses in the area, so they all went ahead and lived together. But they knew that these trailer houses, like these transportable trailer house style things, were being built across the road. So they always like sort of had the intention of moving out. But then once they all started to get along, they thought they would just stay together. And then Vanessa goes and has this big blow up, leaves. It's like, oh, we could just stay in this house because now we do have a bedroom each. But now Dakota and Judd are getting a little bit romantic. They aren't actually dating at this stage. I've always had them be really like on and off. Like there was a stage where they were kind of flirting, but then they got in a little bit of a tiffy and then they were not feeling it anymore. But on this day where Mikayla was having her fight, she went to go ahead and seek solace, you know, get some advice from her friends and say, you know, Vanessa's being a real jerk. She's like gonna move out. She's gonna leave us and like go live in the Pinnacles. How dog is that? And she like walks over and sees that they're flirting with each other in the front yard, and that's when she goes over and kicks the bin. She just felt really alone and really left out. And she did have a lot of success early on in the series. As you remember, she won she got nominated for an award, and I think she won it. I don't quite remember, but anyway, let's just say she won this award. She was doing really well for herself, really going off. First couple of weeks in Desol Valley doing great, but since then she has sort of dwindled down. Judd is still getting steady acting roles, he's doing okay. Dakota's going great with her stylist career, you know, whatever. But Mikayla's sort of been at the same level and hasn't really had any more opportunities for growth. So she was just feeling a little bit left out, a little bit behind. And so then what we went ahead and did is we went ahead and moved Mikayla in with us. So Mikayla came over and said, hey, Lakiesha, you know, this is going on, can I come and live with you? And Lakiesha said, of course, because her and Mikayla got really, really close recently when Lakiesha found out she was pregnant with this random guy's baby. She went ahead and got advice from Mikayla, because Mikayla was the only one left after the Thanksgiving party. Everyone else had gone home. What is it? Not Thanksgiving, it's Harvest Fest. After the Harvest Fest dinner, because I think probably Vanessa went home because she had a shoot the next day, so she wanted to go home and get some beauty sleep. And then, of course, Judd and Dakota were probably going back to, you know, do a little bit of flirting after they'd got a little bit juiced. So yeah, Mikayla was hanging around. Lakiesha went and took the pregnancy test and then was like, Mikayla, I'm pregnant. And so ever since then, they've been really close. They felt like they could tell each other anything, which is why Mikayla instantly sought out Lakiesha when this all went down. So yeah, what they're going to go ahead and do is move out of Lakeisha's current house because it's just simply too small. They can't fit in it. It's too small. And especially, like, Lakiesha couldn't live there alone with one baby, let alone if she was having twins. And then also there wasn't enough room for Mikayla. We could have done some renovations, but I do like the structure of the house as it is, and I had already changed some things here and there, like style-wise, so I didn't want to ruin it. So I went ahead onto this empty plot, and I was trying to come up with a little bit of a story that made sense. I didn't really want them to just like build a house together and live in the same house, because that doesn't really make sense. Why would they do that? Like, if they were going to build a whole new house, wouldn't you think that like Mikayla would build her own house and Lakeisha would build her own house, especially since she's having kids? Like, they wouldn't really, like, friends don't really build a house like that together unless they're planning to live in it forever together. And, you know, Lakeisha's having kids, they're on pretty separate paths in their life, so I thought it would make sense if maybe we pretended that these transportable homes, these trailer homes, have just been finalized, just been finished, and they're ready for somebody to move in. So these girls have gone ahead and moved in. You can see from the left, you can't see it right now, but you would have seen earlier, from the left to the right, there are 3 buildings. There is one on the very left, which is like a little itty bitty rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and pretend that that is like a builder's site. The first, like the 2 homes to the right are done, but that plot isn't done yet. Maybe somebody hasn't bought it yet, but basically we've got the driveway there and like the paving, and then it's just this square trailer. So we're going to go ahead and pretend that maybe the builders are still working on that lot. Maybe there's no interest in it, so they're not building it until like something pops up with availability. But as I said, these guys were interested in this plot, so maybe they registered their interest, so they decided to build the house. I don't know, whatever. The council hasn't decided to build the first house on the left just yet, but these 2 houses, the middle one and the one to the right, are done. So the middle one that we're in right now, furnishing the kitchen, this one is going to be Lakiesha and her children's house. The one next to it, to the right, the rightmost plot, the 3rd house along the line, is going to be Mikayla's. And her house does look kind of bigger, and I'm thinking we might have to expand Lakeisha's house eventually, because this is actually like the same size, if not smaller, than her old house. But the main reason why we did need a new place was to have another bedroom, and then also to house Mikayla. So that's why we're moving out. So this place isn't too much bigger than Lakeisha's old place, which is kind of strange, but it still works. I think it still works. You'll see in a moment, Lakeisha's bedroom is sort of like her bed is in the center, and then all of her work stuff, all of her trophies, all of her desk, her music station, her clothing racks with all of her costumes is surrounding her. And I think that really represents her lifestyle. She's sort of all about work. If we had a workaholic trait, I think she would have it, because she doesn't really focus on her personal life too much. I think especially now that she has kids, it's probably just going to be all work and like raising her children. So yeah, you can see the room is very much a circle of all work related things, all business, like no fun, and then just her bed. So I think that really encompasses her life. And then the bedroom that is mostly empty is going to be the nursery. So I wanted Lakeisha's house to be very art deco, very old school and like retro, and Mikayla's house to be really modern. At this stage, Mikayla's house is pretty empty, I'm going to be honest. In her bedroom, it's like a bed. In the living room, she's got her live streaming station, and then like a bad couch, a TV, and a gaming station. So she's all about the gaming. Like I said, she had success in the beginning, but she hasn't really taken off since then, so maybe she's struggling financially, and yeah, she just can't afford everything that Lakiesha can afford. So basically she has her kitchen, which is our old kitchen. I felt like that kitchen was too modern for the style we're going for. So Lakiesha went ahead and got a new kitchen, which is really cute. And I sort of swapped and switched around some of the bathroom things and sort of tried to make it look realistic, that each of them would have very different like housing decor styles. And yeah, as you can see, I'm putting one bassinet in the baby's room for now. I don't want to jinx us, but this room is pretty big because I imagined if we have twins and they can both fit in here. But what I'm thinking is, I think that Lakeisha's room might be a little bit too small. They are the same size, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think Lakeisha's room might be a bit bigger. I'm not sure. But if we have to, we could always extend the house back, or we could build a second story, or we could build a basement, like have her recording stuff be in the basement. I don't know, but yeah, we're wrapping up the ends of the build. You can see me just trying to scrape by and get the last few pieces of money in to spend on Mikayla's house, but her house is very empty for sure. But yeah, I hope you love this build and you're looking forward to playing in it with Mikayla and Lakiesha in the next part of Get Famous, when we should probably be giving birth. So that's exciting. But until next time, hope you have a very snazzy day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!